Good evening, JACKOCAR fans, and welcome back to the Kia Series here for round number 6 for the Dutch Grand Prix here for Throwback Week. Unfortunately, you are not hearing the voice of Gareth Hall because after being crowned Queen of Portimao, he has digested way too much champagne for his liking and is unable to attend tonight. But I will be taking you through commentary for tonight's Grand Prix. In the box with me is the king himself of Portimao, Ben Shaw. And also, we have a new commentator replacing our driver comms of Huey. He's been in the box before, but I'm yet to experience the box with him. We know him as Jamie Numbers. It's Jamie Griffiths. Welcome both.
Good evening. I'm sad to hear that I've been demoted to the strategy, but happy to be back anyway. Happy to be back for a second time in a row.
And yourself, Jamie, welcome to Kia Box. You've probably seen a couple of races and how well they turn out. What are you looking forward to in tonight's Grand Prix? If you unmuted yourself, that'd be a good idea, maybe.
That would be a good start for him. He's got a bad start here. Here he is.
Yeah.
Potentially. No.
Earth to Jamie.
Yeah. I
is.
have one mute buttons. I have one on my controller and one on my headset, so I've done both of them. And
I've done that
realize...
before. I've definitely done that before.
That's a brilliant start. Yeah, hello everyone. It's good to be back in the comm box again for this series. I think a lot has changed since I've last done it. I am looking forward to seeing the pure shithousery that goes down today, because I know a lot about this division, let's say, from certain people in Cup. And yeah, I'm looking forward for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating watch. It can be one of the duller Grand Prix, especially with the nature of the track. But with the way JACKOCAR is, allows for more overtaking, more use of strategy. That's why we got our own, Burnley Collins from Aston Martin strategist. Yeah, she is in the box.
I'm not doing the accent.
Don't do the accent. He will not be taking on the role of actual Bernie, otherwise it might get cancelled, but who knows.
Jacko's had enough of Northern Irish in the last couple of seasons. I don't think he needs a full-on Irish one.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But I will say, just before we get going, obviously there's only one joker tonight, Mr. Paul McGuinness. Yet to really come back into form, but hopefully on the joker tonight, as you say, it's a bit more of a dull track, Pete. Potentially, with the lack of safety cars, which realistically there probably will be. But hopefully he can get a stroke of luck.
You've jinxed it now.
Get his first win back. Well, I'm not a commentator, so it can't be a commentator's curse.
Yeah, but you're commentating, so therefore you are cursing. Just make sure you curse the right people, though, Ben. And...
Of course. Quinn, I hope you have a great race, mate.
Yeah, and Waze. Gareth will be praising Waze to have a good race as well. So, yeah.
Still waiting on getting going. Not entirely sure what the delays were 5 minutes after. Jess normally puts the hammer down. 7 on the dot. She's usually right. We're off.
We must be missing somebody.
No, so usually Jess is pretty. She puts the hammer down at 7 on the dot.
Yeah.
It's lobby's going.
The JACKOCAR rule. It's 7 or not.
It's 7 or not.
If you're not in,
know that
tough.
too much.
Oh, there we go. Jess is readied up.
We're getting ready to go then.
We're gonna get going.
Any weather predictions, gents? Any rain, or do you think it's going to stay dry?
I think it's going to be dry all the way through, personally.
I'd hope for a bit of wet weather. Always makes it interesting, especially with these lot. Maybe like a change in conditions.
Yeah, dry to wet or wet to dry?
Dry to wet. It always gets a bit chaotic when people are trying to pick the crossover points and whatnot.
Yeah, and strategies. Paul McGuinness will have to think very carefully. If there is a change in the weather, dries to into seems to be the way forward. Rarely see the wets unless it's severe rain and maybe thunder brings out a red flag. So something Paul's going to have to watch for if there is any weather. We're about to go green for qualifying soon. Any predictions for Paul? Or just your standard last out gets top?
Quinn. Quinn.
You've got to fancy Quinn over one lap, really. But you never know. Waste can turn up. People around that, as you say, like it's always about, timing and when they go out. But if there's any weather that comes into play in this qualifying session, it could change completely.
Indeed.
I wouldn't count Yuri out either, personally. This being his home
Fury.
track and all that.
Yuri Yasalaga, yeah, good shot,
Yeah.
actually. He got the pole last week, was it, I believe?
It
may have been on the front
No, I
row.
think he did get knocked off the pole. But he was going to win the race, but kept the JACKOCAR streak alive, making it 5 out of 5 in the Kia Series, and then with Gareth's win, made it 8 out of 8 for different winners. That's 14 in a row. Will we get our 15th different winner in a row? Throw a spanner in the works for the playoffs and drivers fighting for those final few positions that aren't already through. We'll have to find out as we wait for our first driver. Should be Liam, first out on track. And for his throwback livery, he's done a mixture apparently. He's got a McLaren essence, but with a multi-year influence.
Interesting. Excited to see that one when it comes out.
I'd like to see how that turns out, yeah. I guess we're gonna find out right here.
We'll go on board with him. Let's see if we can get a decent view of it. I expect there to be a lot of silver, a lot of chrome.
Red, grey, silver. It's what you expect from McLaren, really, isn't it? From the era he's gone for. It says on the qualifying sheet thingy that is posted on Twitter is hints of a 1997 to 2005 McLaren and the 2006 to 2013 McLaren.
See, it's interesting that because I feel it looks a lot like the 2015 McLaren. The utter shitbox that was the 2015 one. It looks a lot.
I see. I see where you're coming from. Like the early one they pulled out before they changed the livery mid-season. Yeah. Hopefully, for his sake, it won't be as slow.
Well, we'll see, won't we? No extra help for Liam now, thankfully, on the PlayStation. So this will be a good lap, a valid lap. Fingers crossed.
Couple of tricky curves.
Well, you probably said that now.
Couple of tricky curves he's got to watch out for. But here we go to start his lap. Jamie, would you like to take us through this first fly up?
Yep. As we go down into Tarzan corner here, straight on the brakes into fourth gear. Nice and easy on the throttle coming out of Tarzan. And now I don't know these corner names down here, so bear with me as he comes into the first of the two bank corners. A bit of a high line on exit there. You tend to see drivers in this game take that low line compared to the high line in real life. Now on the curve straight on the run up to, I believe it's called Chevlac. I don't know I'm not very good at Dutch pronunciations. I'm not going to be honest with you. As he comes through the middle sector now, fastest in the first sector, of course, he's going to be. He's the first car out on track. As he is, as he's coming through the left-hander here, right on the throttle, DRS open, the second sector split coming up right here. It's a 49.3 from Liam. Now into the stadium section. A bit of a moment there on exit, but it shouldn't cost him too much time. Now into the final proper corner that you have to use the brakes for on the lap, and then through the banking, and then it would be straight up to the line. DRS open as he comes to the line here. The first lap of the day, the benchmark is going to be a 1:11 flat from Liam.
Managed to keep it valid. First lap on the board. I don't know whether you've noticed, Ben, but there is a certain driver with not soft tyres selected as he goes for a little spin. Does Liam?
I hadn't checked, but I can see Yuri Yasalaga. There's talks of wets. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if he's spoken to his brother Yuri and he's told him about how fast the weather rolls in here. But I don't think that's going to really come into the factor. If he does go out on wets, that's going to be an interesting strategy call, which I don't think is really going to play well.
Paul McGuinness's car's very red, isn't it?
It is indeed, and that's representing the F2004
Couldn't have
that
guessed
won. Yeah, that won the drivers' title in 2004. 20 Grand Prix, 15 race wins between Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello. 30 podiums. So it looks to go as every race win is a 1-2. But I assume there are plenty of other drivers that got wins. But pretty much on the podium every Grand Prix from the looks of things. Many like 12 pole positions out of 20 and 14 fastest laps. A very dominant car. As we're seeing in real Formula One with the Red Bulls, they've put their time and effort into creating such a fantastic car that works well and has delivered the wins and the championships this season. So what can Paul do here in Zandvoort? Hasn't quite got back to himself just yet, to his winning ways, back to the Formula One game, and he's in Kia for his first season full-time at this stage. Can he beat Liam's 1:11.0? That's the target, as he runs very low on battery, so a very high battery usage circuit. 1:10.8 from the Ferrari.
He did have a little moment as well in turn 3 on the bank corner. He got in the grass a little bit, but still a good effort there from Paul to get ahead of Liam. Of course, that's very crucial for him on his Joker lap, as next up, I believe, is Marco Schneider.
It is indeed. I'm not too sure.
No.
I'm sure in the comments it said what he was running.
Well, personally, I don't think there's any guessing going on here. I mean, all you have to look at is his name and then wonder what he's going to throw it back to.
Yeah, very true.
It's a, well, if I had to guess, it's a 2021 Haas.
Yeah,
That
and
would
he's
be
running the
my
47
prediction
as
too.
well.
Yeah. Obviously, I've just joined in halfway through his lap, so I don't know what the sectors are looking like for him as he comes around the bank corner. DRS wide open. That's a new addition to the track this year, is the DRS for the banking, and he's about 2 seconds off of Liam, the next car there. So must have had a moment somewhere that we've missed.
Yeah, I was watching the first half of his lap, and it was very messy. A lot of time on the grass and on the gravel and things like that. It wasn't a clean lap. He won't be happy with that one. Doesn't seem to be very with the car. Maybe it's set up for the race. Who knows?
Yeah.
Next up, we have Scott Hayes. He's running, would you really call this a throwback? The Chrome McLaren livery from Silverstone from this season. His own interpretation of it. Obviously, you can't use cars that are already going that you can't change colour on. So he's created his interpretation of that McLaren. That
I'd say it's a throwback, personally.
Managed to get P2 and P4. Yeah, it's a little bit of a throwback. P2
more
and
of a
P4
throwback.
in Silverstone.
More of a
then
throwback
yeah.
than Jake's AGP, is it called? What's the can't remember the name
A1GP,
for it.
isn't it?
A1GP, if that's right. I honestly don't have a clue. But that's, with
Something
the
along them
time
lines.
distance, if it's from the same length of time, that I would say it's more of a throwback.
Yeah. Next up is Thomas Nevitt, who's coming to the end of his lap, so he completely missed out on that. And it looks like there's some sort of Gulf throwback livery, is not stated on the qualifying sheets. He's coming up to the line here, and he's going to slot it in third in front of Scott Hayes and in between him and Liam. If I had to guess,
Respectable
that's a McLaren Gulf Monaco livery. If I had
Quite
to
a few
completely guess.
Gulf liveries around now. You could probably take a guess at a couple. You got the Williams or you've got the McLaren, but
Yeah, well, regardless, it's Gulf. Next up is okay.
Yes, this is I know. Well, it's not very appealing to look at, to be honest. With
Pooh
the
Racing
type of-
team.
And no, unfortunately, according to what Akiki has sent us, this is Mater from Cars. So all he's added was a lot of brown, but considering he spends 90% of his time when Grand Prix racing backwards, hopefully he can use and harness that Mater energy and keep it facing probably the right way, or even better, try and win backwards himself. He's going to finish this lap off. He's running the number 3 around the final corner. I'm surprised he can still run that with Daniel Ricciardo back in the game, but up to the line, it's P4 for Michael. No one yet to knock Paul McGuinness, the Joker, off the top step of the grid for the Grand Prix.
Screw Daniel Ricciardo, I own the rights to that number. I had it before him.
I would imagine that would be the glitch in the game where it doesn't show you correct number and shows the first available. As we've had
I
a
hope they
couple
don't
of
patch it.
issues with all season. Hopefully not, because then you'd be able to run the 3. But
These dickhead Australians keep stealing my numbers, so I won't be very happy if they remove it.
Up next, we have Vitinho, the Brazilian. He is running the 2009 Toyota, also known as the Toyota TF109, running in the 2009 Formula One season. Jarno Trulli and Timo Glock were the drivers there, with Kamui Kobayashi as well taking part as part of the Panasonic Toyota racing team. 17 races, 5 podiums, managed to get 1 pole position.
Wow.
And at the moment, that is a fantastic lap from Vitinho, a whole 8/10 quicker than Paul. Showing true form here, maybe stealing that pole position that they actually got in real life here tonight.
He's done the Toyota trick, it looks like. Put less fuel in the car for quality and paid for the price in the race. And next up, I believe, is Matt Shepherd. Where is he?
He's just finished his lap.
1:11.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, running the 2006 Valentino Rossi Camel Yamaha. Now, we're so used to Yamaha running their regular blue. Rossi decided he wanted to switch it up and went for yellow for the 2006 season.
Yeah. Next up is Dustin Rolko, who I believe is Fozzie Bear. He's coming to the end of his lap. Apparently, according to the game, he's purple in the second sector. His throwback is a DTM Audi RS5 from 2019. I quite like that choice. It's outside the box, to say the least, as he comes up to the line. It's going to be a 1:10.6, and that puts him second, still half a second behind Vitinho. Vitinho must have put a really good lap together, but of course, the quicker guys are yet to come.
They are indeed. Next is, or was... Yeah, that was a Porsche. Should be Jess in her livery that ran the first Kia series. Win was probably gifted to her during the Australian Grand Prix, but she put herself in a position to win. Jamie Bromley let her have it, and it's P2 for Jess. She's putting in the practice.
Lap.
10.4, only 4/10 off Vitinho, and we thought that was a great lap. Up to second place, a threat here for at least a podium, it seems, for Jess.
Yeah, that's what we like to see from her. She's definitely put the hours in, and it's paying off so far. Next up, we've got Rico Beckenkamp, who's thrown back to Porsche's, I assume, a Le Mans win from 1971. He comes to the end of the second sector, at the end of the back straight, and it's a 49.7, not purple according to the game, so he might not be a threat to pole. Nobody has been a threat to Vitinho since he has set his lap. I come into the last corner, got a lot of curb there. I think Rico might have had a moment. I wasn't on board with him. Coming through the banking and now up to the line. DRS wide open, and it's going to be a 1:11.5, and it's put him 8th, so smack dab in midfield from Rico.
It is indeed, and as far as we know, the only Dutch driver on the grid, so flying the flag and can see the orange army cheering him on as he tries to put himself in a championship.
Sorry to
position.
interrupt. Robin Border has ruined his lap. He's gone off in the second sector, went through the gravel, so for as long as he completes his lap, obviously it's going to be valid, and he's just gone off again there, but he's going to be at the back.
Yeah, he's going to be at the back.
Very strange the way he went off there. Very strange. It seems to almost like straight line that corner, and then refused to get off it really, and then
caught
a bit more gravel.
Maybe got a bit beached. You can do that on a lot of curves on this game. As I found out in Portimao, there is one curve you can beat yourself on.
It is the slowest lap. Only a 1:15.7 though. Didn't lose too much time.
Harry Collier's done the same thing. In the same place. So, to be fair, that is a nice livery he's got though.
Yeah, the Jaguar F1 2000 for Harry. They didn't give a quick mention of Robbins. That's the Scheider. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. DTM from 2008-2009. That's the all black for Rageman. This is quite. It looks quite chromy, quite shiny. This Jag.
Oh, yeah, but I assume the Jaguar was pretty chromy. The real one was pretty chromy in the first place, and is slower than Robin Border's time. To be expected for them to be down there after they both had their moments.
Looks like we're going to get a full lap from Lesty. He had a great drive in Abu Dhabi, but managed to fall away towards the end of the Grand Prix. But still within a chance here. He is in the championship fight. He just needs to get that win on the board to get himself 9 points into the playoffs. He sits, but I think a win on the board would set him quite nicely for the playoffs.
Big fan of this livery. The Lightning McQueen inspired.
And as we all know, if anybody can pull a win out of nothing, it is Lightning McQueen. We can expect him to be riding walls, bouncing off cars, going 20 feet in the air, and somehow managing to keep his suspension intact all in one. So,
in true JACKOCAR fashion.
Yeah, especially in this division, it must be said. Purple second sector, though, so we might have a challenger here to Vitinho's lap.
Yeah, it was quite quick. It was a 46.8 after the first two sectors. So that's quite significantly faster than what we've seen from the drivers hitting the 111s. This could be a 110, but will it be a 109 or even matching Vitinho's pole position time to the line? It's a 198 from Lesty. Redemption for last week, and could be potentially attempting to make it 6 out of 6 for different race winners this season.
Next up, we have Uri Yasalaga, a series debut for him. I wonder what his throwback livery could be.
Yeah, he raced last week under a different alias. He had to set up an account, but being Belarusian, being, what's the word, suspicious would be the word. Running the number 9 as well, maybe a hero of his.
Suspicious orange helmet as well, I must add.
Yeah, hopefully not making himself a target as he crosses the line. Is it pole position? It's not. It's only a 110.5 from Fury. He would have won last week's race if it was not for the kind heart somehow within that darkness that managed to get him to let Harry win. No, Harry. Let, what's his name? Matt Shepherd win.
Matt Shepherd,
yeah.
Harry unfortunately didn't make it to the finish line. And we've got 2 drivers left to set times.
Mr. Waste Kuba in the Martini Williams livery.
Yeah, quite a squirming lap so far. I've watched most of it on board. It seems to be he's going for it, but he's had to catch the rear a couple of times as well, so it might cost him.
According to the game, he is purple in the second sector, though. Let's see what he sets as he comes to the line. He has a 198.54 to beat, and he is going to slot in just behind Lesty, actually. And breaks a brake marker board and goes straight on at turn 1 and puts it in the wall.
Which is not allowed, and he will be penalised for that.
Oh dear.
Oh.
And, well, do we have any explanation for who's left?
No, but just a reminder that during Safety Car we do have another movie review, and unfortunately the one commentator that we would have preferred in the box.
Quinn's just done the same thing as Wace.
Interesting. So those 2 drivers will be sent straight to the stewards for that. But, movie review, the one driver that should be here isn't here. So hopefully may the force be with him on track as we try and not butcher the fanboyness that is Yuri Haslager.
Right, let's run through the grid then, shall we? Matt Lester on pole.
We've got Waze in second, Quinn third in what was, I believe, the BMW. Vitinho in fourth. After that staggering lap, we thought that was going to be pole position. Good qualifying position for Jess, up to fifth, ahead of Fury. We will not speak anymore of his car livery. Fuzzy Bear is seventh, the only Joker in the Ferrari P8. Evil Dragon ninth, Matt Shepherd 10th. Then you got Thomas, Rico, Michael, Repay.
And we don't care about the rest, as Jacko would say.
They are irrelevant. He stole my line. I watched the stream, and it literally was the same line, similar to what I said last week.
I was preparing for that.
Yeah, I nearly got there. I tried to rush, but unlike 2 cars on the grid, we're not going to be rushing to see the rain yet because it's nice and dry at the moment.
Overcast. It is quite overcast, though. Yeah.
If anyone who is in the race and is in chat can let us know what the weather is like, or Mr. Benjamin, if your wheel works. I can't remember to turn mine on, so
Yeah,
you can check
let
weather.
me go to the Met Office. Let's see what it's saying. But I will know just before the race starts is Waze, what he did wasn't allowed. However, what Quinn did, considering the checkered flag had already flown, I believe he will be NFA based on that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I would have thought the Quinn wouldn't have been penalised for that. I think it's just to get the session over quicker so we can get it into things.
Yeah. He'll need to be checked. We'll need to check President on the previous.
Maybe his
penalties
controller
around that
faded
scenario.
him. He's had that before.
Maybe it just went straight on like it did in Miami. Perhaps that could always be the case.
Yeah.
You might want to get that checked out, Quinn, because that'd be quite serious, especially with being a title contender. Right then, everyone's picking their strategies. What are we thinking? A lot of softs. Paul McGuinness, if I was him, maybe start on the hards, go long, but mediums, and then one of the eventual safety cars that may or may not come out will be able to save him. But we'll see what will happen. 17 drivers on the grid. How many will finish? We'll find out in 36 laps.
Yuri was kind enough to send me an Excel spreadsheet prior to the race, and the winning strategy for Jokers, at least apparently, is a medium to hard on lap 16, and Paul has opted for those mediums. Interestingly, Waze has also opted for the mediums from second place, so maybe some guys behind him will be looking to get the jump on him earlier on with the better traction on the softs.
Yeah, you're right in what you're saying there, Jamie. Obviously, a lot of soft drivers behind Waze. He's going to have to get through these first couple of laps and not get any damage, try and just survive it, really. But just a little update on the weather side of things. It looks like it's going to be this sort of weather for the majority of the race. And we're going to get a nice little bit of sun in the last 15 minutes or so, depending on how many safety cars we get. So there's going to be no wets in play today. It looks like it's going to be all dry. And we'll just have to see how this one goes. Of course, Paul McGuinness, our only Joker, in 8th on medium, so I think he's probably end up going to doing the medium to hard stint. But it depends how long you can take those mediums. If there's a couple of safety cars, if you can stretch it, there's all the chance you can make a medium soft.
Yeah, cheers for the buzzkill on the weather there, Bernie.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. I wish I could say there's rain in 15 minutes, but there isn't.
That's unfortunate.
Well, never always trust the weather radars. There's been worse stuff has happened in the past.
Very true.
Yeah. Right.
I look back at Spa, prime example.
We're getting ready to line up on the grid then. It's Lightning McQueen on pole position, with Williams Martini lining out the front row. What are we going to expect into turn one? The preferable line that I've seen and I know is the outside line into turn one, because you get such a nice drive and exit using the bank compared to someone on the inside. Lesty couldn't get it in the pocket in a good slot. Quinn can't park. Coutinho can't park. Matt Shepherd can't park. McKechnie can't park. Scott
this
can't
is
park.
kind of worrying.
This is going to be fun. If no one can park, will they ever drive?
Yuri's
That's
half.
an interesting. Yeah, it's
Yuri
an interesting
is
good
facing
line.
the wall.
Yuri is facing the wall. Fantastic. He's probably trying to be attacking it as we get ready for the lights,
This is
and we're
such
on the way. Here in Zandvoort, I didn't get to see the lights really, but into turn one, Leslie takes it. It's too wide, further back through the back of the field. Waze and the top three all managed to hold on to positions. Waze on the mediums is going to be looking to stretch that stint compared to the rest of the drivers behind. Battling further behind, even dragging up to 6th. Running side by side.
There's been a crash. Crash to the back between Rico and Okeke.
Yeah, I didn't manage to get a full view on that. I was watching the cars at the back, but it seems to just be a little bit of coming together into that bank corner. It happens.
Seemingly got away without any damage. So, race on as usual. As Matt Lester continues to lead.
Oh, that's Paul McGuinness round. That's our only Joker. He is now going to fall to the back of the grid. Has he picked up any damage? I'm not too sure. Maybe got caught on the curb running through this middle sector. That's not going to help him for this Joker as he tries to keep it facing forwards as he enters the third sector. But is a long way back now. Still a long way to go. First stage at end of lap 9, with the second stage allowing people to make their second
Matt
stops.
Shepherd in the wall.
Matt Shepherd in the wall. Last week's race winner. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, but it may stick it out
There's safety car on the
safety
track.
car.
I think there's been a coming together in the banking. It looks like between OKK and Marco Schneider, they've both not got any front wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a couple of pitters, of course. Lap 1, or will be lap 2, but at the end of lap 1, non-mandatory, of course. So OKK, Matt Shepherd, Mick Schumacher still needs to do 2 more stops, so it's gonna change their races definitely.
Yeah, just take a note of these, Ben, with your notepad. Non-mandatory stops for Matt, Michael, and Mick. Oh, double stack for Michael and I always forget the real person's name. I'm so used to using proper name.
Marco Schneider.
Marco Schneider, that's the one.
I'm just basing off what I saw his name as in qualifying. He's gone on to Haas, interestingly, as Matt Shepherd. Oh dear.
Gareth Hall is going to would have been shouted like, how can you speed on the safety car? How can you speed in the pits? What are you doing? What is this? It's easily done, but
in all seriousness,
surely
how has he sped under the safety car when he's so far behind?
Yeah, I can understand there being a glitch sometimes if you're coming out of the pits when a virtual safety car is ending, but this is a full course caution, and I think getting a drive-through is pretty stupid, to be fair. You got no one attacking you in front, no one attacking you behind. You're not really going to lose or gain any positions. It is safety car after all. So, poor from him.
And I'm assuming that the trialed rule of safety car restarts where you can only place your car up to the rear axle of the next car, I'm assuming that's still in place for this weekend. Oh, as Quinn almost smacks the back of Wace under the safety car.
Go back to what you were just saying, Jamie. Yeah, it is being carried over. We're happy with it so far, so we're going to keep on trialling it until the post-season in both tiers anyway. It seems to be working quite well. Hopefully we get some more of the same as we saw in the last 2 races, because it did work quite well.
Yeah, based off what I saw in Portimao in the restart, we still got as much action as we usually would have, so...
Which is what you want. You don't want to kill the entertainment factor, but you also want to make sure that everyone gets away safely and cleanly, because that's the last thing you want, is a big pile-up on the restarts.
Yeah, exactly, and it takes away from the race then, doesn't it? But, Matt Shepherd, I believe, has tried to serve his penalty in the safety car, and it hasn't worked, so he's only just gone and knocked himself back even further.
Lost the position, but doesn't know the rules.
That is basic F1 rules, so he should know that, theoretically.
Of course, safety car, unless it's coming in this lap, which I don't believe I've had the notion for. Anyone can pit at the end of this lap. They can pit now, use the safety car stop, get rid of those hards if they so please, or they could stay out and wait for another one later on the race. At this point in time, I would probably suggest against the latter. But Quinn is
a few of them have gone for it, actually.
Yeah, he made a mistake
Evil
in car,
Dragon.
not pitting on the safety car.
That was cheeky from Evil Dragon. He's just pulled an overtake on Jess there on the entrance to the pits. That's very smart from him to pick up a place.
Yeah, sometimes those kind of moves can be a little bit risky. But yeah, it's worked out for him so far. I would have expected maybe a few more soft runners, maybe box, especially the people at the back. Get that, even though you've made a stop, get that one mandatory out of the way. You're going to be at the back anyway. Might as well box, you'll be able to catch back up. But that's one safety car down, and the unfortunate thing is we haven't started our movie review. I've been too busy waffling on. And
well, I think we might need to get this done and out of the way soon, because I feel like the safety car might be coming in at the end of this lap.
Yeah, we can begin it. We saw 5 safety cars last week and we ran out of topic time, so ran out of topic to the time, should I say. So this is a long film to be talking about. It is episode 3 of the Star Wars series, Return of the Sith, and a Yuri favourite. He wish he was here, but he's not, unfortunately, because he's had to let his cousin Yuri have a go and try and race. He's only a young lad, but yeah, it's a shame he's missing out on this, because I did download the movie. It's 2 hours long. I thought maybe not, so I watched a 4-minute review on YouTube and got all the juicy bits. And all I can say as a notable thing, there's a lot of limbs lost in this film.
A lot of limbs lost.
A lot of limbs lost.
Thankfully, none of the drivers have lost any limbs yet.
Personally, the only thing I know from it is another happy landing, which is basic knowledge. So we're getting ready for the restart.
Yeah, indeed. We'll get back to the
no
movie
doubt
review.
Yeah.
Yeah. Safety cars, breed safety cars. He's past the activation point where he can go, and Lesty is away here back under the Dutch orange. Hold on to the lead from Waze, but there's been some moves further behind. Vitinho up to 3rd, and Paul McGuinness on the Joker up to 8th. Remember, he is now on the same strategy as many of the drivers further behind. Is there a bit of contact there, Jamie?
They were going free wide into turn 2, so make of that what you will. Yeah, Matt Lester has perfectly calculated that restart. Hurry Yassalaga has just done a pass in the grass on Scott Hayes, so with that helmet and livery combo, I think is what you expect, but it's a very good move there from Hurry to move him up the place.
Yeah, he's making way. He's already up to net P3. They've got no cars between them and Paul McGuinness, Quinn on Paul. Who's gone round? Is that... I see
it was
Michael and
Scott Hayes and Michael O'Keke, yeah.
Oh dear. Come on, lads. We've got to survive a lap. I want one full green lap at least before another safety car comes out, because we don't want a repeat of, oh my goodness, Paul, what are you doing? You're giving me a heart attack with that exit. He nearly loses the position to Matt Shepherd, but he just needs to keep his tyres in check. Yeah, maybe struggling with tyre temperatures.
I think it may be damage. He's been squabbling the entire lap. Matt
Shepherd can now finally take away his penalty. He can finally serve it now.
What was noted in there was that he did, I believe, he's served his one safety car stop in all that kerfuffle. He came in, changed the tyres back onto the mediums, so he served his one safety car stop. So he is, technically speaking, is in a much higher position than what the standings say right now, if we were to get another safety car, of course.
Yeah, but with another safety car, that will allow the drivers that didn't stop to stop.
He almost has a moment up the banking as well. He's not having a good race so far.
Yeah, but plenty of laps to go. Yellow flag, middle sector. Is that Paul again? He really is struggling to keep that Ferrari facing the right way. You sure you're not wearing brown as Akeke, speaker of the devil, gets by him? Maybe some driving backwards tips I need to be sent to Paul from the young mater. Oh, and there we go. He's lost the back end again. He must
have some rear wing damage or something, because that corner, she shouldn't be dropping it the way it is. I think this is a lost cause, especially for the Joker anyway.
I did see a couple of stack-ups on the restart. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's definitely got something wrong. Yeah, there was quite a bit of stack-up on the restart. So watch out, Paul! Yeah, that was risky. Yeah, there might have been a lot of stacking up as Thomas Nevitt's gone around.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the track.
He's in an awful position.
I wouldn't drive that way.
No one's coming. He might have had someone hit the back of him maybe on the restart. But yeah, he's just a bit of a driving hazard on the track at the moment, and he needs to be careful he doesn't either beach the car or lose his front wing, because that could cause a safety car.
Could indeed. He's keeping going though. Every point matters, as we know in JACKOCAR. He could be into the playoffs or out of it, but this seems like one of those days for Paul on his Joker as well. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. But battle for the lead as DRS is enabled, and we could see a change. Ways on those mediums. Crossover point could be heading his way. Sets fastest lap down the inside, and that's an easy move from the Williams Martini to get up to P1. Lesty yet to stop. Those soft tyres looking to come to an end already.
There's a very crucial move as well. So if Paul's about to make a safety car out of his damage right now, then that could be a very timely move there from Wace. Doing very well on his mediums. They started to come towards him, but he needs to be careful here because the leaders are coming round and he's in the way. That's allowed Matt Lester to creep right back up to the back of Wace again.
It is indeed, but he just about managed not to cause an airplane crash. He's just going to start letting everyone go through. I think he's lost the back end again. And
Scott Hayes is out of the race, and that's the safety car I was talking about for Wace.
Do we see both of them stop? If I was Waste, maybe stay out, get that playoff point for stage 1. Comes at the end of lap 9, is on the mediums, he's already through to the playoffs, and stacking those playoff points is something that Ben himself knows fully well of what to do. The more playoff points you have going into the postseason, the better you are at qualifying for the Championship 5.
Yeah, I'd agree, especially with Paul still in the race. No disrespect to Paul at all, but with the state of his car being in, I'd imagine there will be a third safety car in this race. So to stay out, I think that would be the wise move for him.
Oh, yeah. Speeding in the pit lane. Gareth fuming again. None of the drivers broken one of the golden rules during safety car, and that is speeding. Oh, Paul. Let's make that 2.
He didn't throttle into the pits, so it's obviously not a rage quit. That's
chaos. What is happening?
How has Mick Schumacher got a penalty for speeding when I cut to him? He was recovering from what seemingly was a spin.
Yeah, It was a strange one. I was on board with him. He came to a complete halt and then managed to get a speeding penalty, so it might have been a Delta problem there, perhaps.
Yeah. As I think Robin Borders also picked up a penalty somewhere as well. He's got a 5 seconds, so that's presumably for ignoring yellow flags.
Speeding in the pit lane, I think, for Robin and for Paul. They did it one after the other. Yeah. Gareth's fuming right now while watching. He's like, how are these people speeding into the pit lane when there's yellow flags and safety cars? Oh, he's livid, is Gareth. Drink some more champagne, buddy. You're going to need it for Austria.
As well to note, KKE serves his first mandatory stop. He's done 2 stops, but the first was obviously one was non-mandatory on lap 1. So he's took his first proper stop now under safety car, of course. So his last stop, his second stop, has to be after lap 18, but more importantly, under green flag conditions as well.
Yeah, 3 drivers yet to make a mandatory. Actually saying that, Fuzzy Bear is now in. Way stays out. Julie So picks up that playoff point. Will Thomas enter the pits? He will, so that leaves... Oh dear, that's another speeding penalty under the safety car. Should we write these down as well? Something for Gareth's notes next week if he does decide to turn up.
How are these guys managing to speed so much under a period of time where your speed is restricted?
Yeah,
it's
Gareth's enjoying the race.
I tell you what, though, I do worry for Wace. I think he should have pitted when Matt Lester and Vitinho pitted, because now he's on his old mediums. He's got Quinn and Hori behind him, 2 very fast drivers with fresher tyres. Even if it's only by 3 laps, that could make all the advantage around somewhere like Zandvoort. I feel like he could have pitted, got another set of mediums on, gone to lap 18, and then maybe pitted somewhere in between then and the finish for a set of softs, personally. But we'll see what race he makes out of the strategy he's on.
Right, so recent pitters under this safety car, Lesty, Vitinho, both choosing softs. I believe both of them did start on softs as well. So they're doing a soft, hard, soft, medium. Not so sure whether people have been practicing tyre degradation around here. Mediums for Robin, Harry, Michael, Fuzzy Bears on fresh mediums as well. Fresh softs for Thomas and Paul, box to get himself to the back of the grid for fresh softs. Safety car in this lap. Waze will I can't even get my words out. Waze will lead the way. Gareth's favourite driver on the grid. Paul, I know you're trying to... Paul's in the wall.
The safety car's been redeployed, or is it just coming back in?
It's good to come in. Star Wars, though, what a movie.
Oh yeah, we forgot again. Shows how much interest we have in Star Wars. Here we go then. For the green lights. Oh absolute chaos at the back. Oh my goodness. There is chaos at the back. What has happened here? Thomas has got 5 seconds. We've got a red flag. First red flag of the Kia series. If that was on your bingo card for every week, it's the first time I believe it's shown up here in Kia. We had it in Cup. Now we got it in Kia. Oh dear.
Oh my days. How has that happened?
I wonder if...
I'm at a loss for words.
I think there's only about 10 drivers left in the race.
Yeah, I think we lost about 3 or 4 from that incident. I was just about to say, was that Wace in this position should try and fight
Well,
Quinn and then see if he can stay out for the second stage point. But remember, with it being a
that's
red
massively
flag,
benefited him now.
he can take his stop now and it won't impact him whatsoever. So this has really played out well for Waze in this situation. He can get a stop done without having to lose any time whatsoever.
Gareth in the comments is having a great time. He is absolutely witnessing the chaos that he should have been commentating over. Many drivers absolutely fuming. I wonder if many of the drivers that are left haven't won a race. Is Paul still in this?
I'm assuming that
retired.
OKK was.
Paul has
OKK
retired.
was. I'm assuming that OKK was one of the drivers that was involved because he's since left the session, so he must be out of the race.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
find
as
out.
you said there, Pete, Paul, he retired on his own accord away from the safety car restart when it was coming in. So he's done. The Joker's done. So fingers crossed we can get a new winner here. But there's a couple of guys who just made it out of that whole incident unscathed, just about enough that they can repair the car and carry on going. But it's going to be interesting to see if anyone's picked up any damage, which is unrepairable at this point.
Yeah, side pod floor tends to be
That's the one, yeah.
the one.
Or even rear wing in the worst. I mean, with the way that happened, yeah.
Here we go then. Getting ready for 5 red lights once again. 11 drivers left on the grid. 23 laps to go. It's boogity boogity boogity. Let's go back racing. Waze versus Quinn down towards turn 1. Waze looks like he might hang on to it. He's going to have the outside line, which is a better run. Quinn goes for the inside. Maybe he'll get jumped by Fury, who gets a lovely exit right now around the back of the gearbox. To see what happens. Rico losing the position to Fozzie Bear and now loses this position to Lesty. Fresh tyres for a lot of drivers. We've got Waze on mediums, Quinn on mediums, hards for Fury, Evil Dragon, Coutinho, Fozzie Bear,
sorry
and
to
Lesty on
interrupt you,
mediums.
Pete.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Pete, but the same thing has happened to Matt Shepherd as what happened to Sully and Monaco. He's got a punctured set of mediums that presumably got punctured in the crash, and they've put them back on the car, and he's got a front left puncture right now. He's struggling to get round the track. He's been sullied.
Yeah, he
Really a
has been
shame
sullied.
for him. He was back in the race. He just managed to stay with it. He's done 4 stops already, and now he's going to have to take a 5th just to stay in this race. Big shame for Matt Shepherd.
It is indeed. Last week's race winner is not really having the best of luck so far in the 2006 Yamaha Camel livery, Valentino Rossi style. He's going to have to try and nurture it back to pits. Luckily, it's a front puncture rather than a rear puncture, so he can drive quite quickly. But you can see it can be very difficult under the brakes. Hopefully, he doesn't go a lap down as Vittino gets by Evil Dragon down towards turn 1. He has the inside, but Liam's going to have the better run on the exit. On the outside, holds onto the position just about, and it's a battle for P4. They're falling away from the front 3, and Fury, on those hard tyres, has fallen out 1 second of the top 2.
Interestingly, Wade going back onto fresh mediums now means that he's going to have to put either hards or softs on to finish this race. So what I imagine is what he'll do in this situation is try and take stage 2, and then he'll try and get as most laps led as physically possible, and then go for softs at the end and try and get the fastest lap 2. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because, as I say, he's not going to be able to go into another set of mediums at the lap 19 mark when stage 2 begins. He's not going to be able to do that because he's going to have to stop again and put a new set of tyres on. It's the way the game works.
Right.
It is indeed.
If everything's okay for me, no?
Are you back?
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The internet's just had a slight spaz there. But we're all good now, though. I'm not sure why it happened, but yeah, doesn't matter.
You made my heart go there when it said network error with Jamie Gress. I was like, oh, please not be mine. From out of nowhere, please not be mine. But
I was honestly confused because it didn't go off on my computer or anything. I don't know. I have no clue what happened. But yeah.
All right then.
I don't know how much of it you missed, Jamie. We were just talking strategies and whatnot in your absence.
I think I've missed about 2 laps. All I could hear, but I know where something went wrong, so all I could hear was just Pete going E, R, and then E.
To be fair, when I listen to Pete, that is usually what I hear as well.
Hey, wait a minute.
Sort of
At least I don't have a
goes in
Scouse
one, goes out
accent,
the other.
you dirty bastard.
Well, you know. We make our own fun
To
here.
be fair, there's a bloke at work that I've been working with who's got a Scouse accent. Ooh.
Yeah, Quinn's just got Wace for the lead, and Wace is now having issues, it seems.
Yeah, was there contact? I don't think so. But the benefit of
No.
DRS from Quinn.
Wace has left the session.
Has he? Oh no.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if there's something going on in Wales that's an issue, maybe, because I know Wace is in Wales as well.
Discussed
He
then.
seems to be keeping up with. Obviously, we can't see the overhead game tag, so we can't see whether he's in AI or not. But he seems to be keeping general pace with Quinn.
Yeah, he's
And
out
the
of 1
AI is
second though
usually
now,
set
Weird.
quite
and
low.
Fury's caught
Yeah.
up. So I don't think he's
Oh
in
no,
the
I
car.
believe you may be right.
Yeah,
actually.
you can
Yeah.
you can see his wheel movements. They're very static, AI-like.
Yeah. He's gone. That's a big shame for Waze.
Uri's going to be careful.
Yeah, Uri's got to be
because
careful.
that car's going to be much slower than him, and it's not ghosted either.
He's going for the
Oh,
moon.
he's got
And,
a front
it's
lunge
not
on
going
an
to give him much
AI.
space either.
That's some Belarusian grit right
And
there.
the
Brilliant,
AI has
brilliant.
the AI almost swiped him coming back across the racing line there, but a bit of heart and mouth moment, but he's through.
Yeah, lost a lot of time there, did Fury. But he's got these hards now to run after Quinn, hunt him down, and stop him from getting and breaking the record for different drivers winning in JACKOCAR this season, in both Cup and Kia. I don't want it to be
And
broken.
because it's Quinn, if he does win, you want you the fucking... Sorry,
No,
excuse my
excuse
language.
me.
You want here the
PG!
end of it. You want here the end of it. I was advised not to say that word.
Yeah.
I deeply apologise for
Slap on the
all
wrist,
kids watching the
reprimand.
stream.
Move on.
NFA for now.
LFA.
Pre-watershed. I can't say that just yet.
Yeah. Bettino now past Waves. Will he be able to get back in the session? Is AI losing a little bit at the back end there? Now Lesty's up to P4. It looks like it's going to be the downfall of Waves as Gareth is rubbing his hands gloriously in the thought of Waves not winning this race and falling down the order.
Oh, Hurry at a moment. He clipped the grass on entry to the corner and it compromised him. He went off the track and now he's fallen into the clutches of Vitinho as the gap now extends to 3 seconds between him and Quinn.
Yeah, fresher, softer compounder tyres for Quinn gives him a good advantage to try and pull away. No apologies, we aren't PG. Very true, Gareth. Things that you say are very questionable at times.
Just trying to work out what potentially people could do in this situation. A lot of medium runners, only 3 laps old as well, which is interesting. So what I would imagine is a lot of guys are going to go long. I expected more to start on the soft after that red flag, if I'm honest, and just have a fast dash to the second safety car, to the second stage. Considering most drivers on the grid right now have served their 1 safety car stop, it runs the risk. I think if you're in that position where you've got softs on and you're able to stop at the lap 19, you put yourself in a really, really favourable position. So if you look at the likes of Thomas Nevitt down in P8, it isn't all doom and gloom for him right now. If he can box next lap and if the safety car comes out not long after, it does benefit him quite a lot.
It does indeed. I think Curie as well will be wanting a later safety car, using those hard tyres now rather than going on a fresher set of mediums to run to this point. End of stage 2 is approaching. Quinn looks to be the man to take that playoff point with him to the postseason. Fury closing the gap a little bit, but those hard tyres need a little bit of, maybe a few more laps, maybe 2 or 3 more laps before they start becoming better compared to the mediums.
He's closed about half a second on Quinn in that last lap, and he's bringing this DRS train of Matt Lester and Bettino towards him as well. So we could be looking at quite the fight here for P1 if these guys don't bottle it. And I say that Bettino's at a 4 corner, and he might be out of DRS range by the next couple of corners.
A lot of lap to go until the next DRS activation point. All twisted corners, which will benefit the grippier tyres at this stage, but once those tyres hit that 25%, they're going to be an absolute nightmare, and that's where Yuri will start to pull away and close Quinn in even more.
It's all just a waiting game at this point. I think we're probably not going to see many drivers come in this lap. They may prove me wrong if they started on soft and want to do a double medium stint. We look at this top 7, with obviously including Wace, who isn't in control of this car. And it's going to be interesting to see how they play out their strategies. There's loads of options right now. You can go long, you can come in now. There's very, very different ways that these guys can play it.
We could see maybe Thomas Nevitt come in this lap. He's got 10 seconds worth of penalties, I believe, he has to remove, unless that's a corner cutting penalty. But he's trying to make his way past Waste, and actually Huri's going to pit. Yeah.
5
interesting to get rid of those hards.
Coming off him, yeah.
Must be for mediums, surely.
Has to be, you'd imagine so.
Yeah.
And it is. So that should take him to the end of the race with a bit of nursing.
It also covers him now if there's a late safety car. Helps his strategy. If there's a safety car now, the drivers that have already made a pit stop on the safety car, which is pretty much everyone, ball in Yuri's court, as they say.
Oh, they're buggered, aren't they? Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say. You know, with the coming in now as soon as physically possible is, I believe, to be the right move. Considering most of these guys, I've wrote them all down, so I'm not entirely sure exactly every single person who's done the safety car stop, but from the amount I've written down, I'd imagine the majority of the field. We do get a yellow in sector 2.
Yellow flag, and that's Thomas Nevitt.
It's a shame, he should have boxed that lap.
Back up and running.
Yep.
Battle for P2 though, starting to cook. Vitinho and Lesty. With Fury out the way, it leaves Vitinho a little bit vulnerable down these DRS straights. He's got a great exit as Lesty. Here's his opportunity now, and Vitinho ruins it! There from the Brazilian, ruining the fight, but benefit of DRS for Lesty to try and go for an overcut. We know an undercut is very powerful, especially once you hit that 25% window.
And Huri as well, the best possible scenario for him that he's come out in clean air. He does have a bit of turbulent air coming off maybe the back of Thomas Nevitt, but he's a second behind. It's not going to be as effective. And actually, if there wasn't a corner there, then obviously Vitinho would have had him, but that's obvious to see. Michael Owen could have come up with a better commentary line there if I... Well, yeah. Anyways.
Jess makes her final mandatory stop. Forza Bear all over the back of Evil Dragon for currently P3 at this stage. 15 laps to go. And for once, we've managed to survive 7 laps without... No, it's the safety car, red flag. I was going to say yellow flag, but we've had a few of them already. But no reason to bring out safety car.
Let's not say anything just yet. This is Kia.
It's also a lovely commentator's cursed. Off to Bernie then.
Returned.
Finally, what took him so long? He's already at the back now. But tyre choices then for these drivers that extend in, Ben, what would you say? Softs?
Yeah, I would imagine so. It all depends on how long the guys take them, really. As I said before, you know, it's all about whether they started on the mediums or not. If they started on the softs, which a lot of the top 7 who started the race did, they're able to go medium now. So it's up to them. But as I say, the longer these laps go on, the more of a risk and a gamble that they're taking of that safety car coming out and ruining the race.
Hell of a battle going on, by the way, for P9 between Rico and Jess. They're both on fresh hards, and they were side by side all the way from the stadium section to the start-finish line, pretty much. They did come close to contact a couple of times, but it looks like they've made it out okay for now.
Yeah, battle for 9th place. Rico at home. Jess trying to replicate that this livery is the lucky one that could get her the win. Plenty of laps to go, plenty more things to happen, plenty more pit stops to be made. Waze has got a lot of work to do though, because he's lost how many seconds? A whole pit stop, pretty much.
Yeah, you're looking at around 20 seconds for that loss. Yeah, he's lost about 20 seconds just by being an AI, which just goes to show how much it's hurt him, really. It's sort of hurt his race, but Evil Dragon comes to the pit.
He does indeed.
I Fury that he hasn't.
Ooh, to the outside.
He could have had a run there. Oh, his AI is all over the track.
He might be back though. I think he's back.
Very unhealthy.
I think Waze is back. So this is defending from him.
He might have joined back right at that very moment. So that's very good timing.
Yeah, holds on to the position. Fury to the outside into a corner that's not really made for overtaking. Dips a wheel into the grass. Tries the under and over, the old switcheroo as they like to call it. Oh, Waze gets his rear tyre on the grass on the exit. And that could be moved on from the Belarusian. running a very questionable livery, but DRS for
is
Waze
DRS,
now.
yeah.
Has he got any battery? Is he going to use it? He might just try and stick with Yuri. Knows his pit stop behind and gives him a chance to try and throw himself back into a potential, I don't know, top 6 finish, with Evil Dragon being 10.5 seconds behind this battle.
I'd like to know how Wace's AI has used so much battery. Like, he hasn't saved anything from it.
Could be very
they run the auto, don't they? So they just use it whenever they feel necessary.
Yeah,
No saving with the
which
AI.
is save it all up all race and then drain it on the last lap.
We've got a lovely laggy Vitinho behind this group. I know I'm bored with him. He's actually trying to make me quite a little bit sick. Will Jess make the move on Rico now into down to turn 1, battle for P9. Between these two, she'll have the inside, Rico will have the outside. Better line is the outside, preferably. And he hangs on to P9 for the second consecutive lap.
Vitinho is all over Wace. Yeah, I'm not sure maybe if Wace is still... I don't think he's in AI anymore. I think it's just the old tyres really coming into play. He had a couple of moments there through the middle sector, and it should be easy enough for Vitinho. But it doesn't seem like he isn't getting that much benefit from the slipstream there down the back straight. So he's going to have to wait a couple more corners.
He is the longer straight. We know how powerful slipstream and DRS can be. Will it be beneficial for Vitinho? If I was Waze, oh, that's an exit and a half from Vitinho with the benefit of DRS. Waze has nothing to defend with. Vitinho's going to get this in the bag, and I think Waze is probably going to stretch it for softs, maybe try and clinch that fastest lap playoff point as well.
By the way, I want to say that Matt Lester is eaten into Quinn's gap by quite some margin, by about a second or so maybe.
Yeah, and the gap between them and Fozzie Bear is about 8.5. So this battle between Quinn and Lester is just about to open up here. Will any of them blink to box? Not sure if either of them started on... I'm pretty sure both of them started on softs. So I think they've used their second set of mediums as well. So they're probably stretching for a final set of softs to end this final stint.
The current state of play is Quinn used both of these started on softs. Quinn started on the softs and so did Lesty. Quinn's used 2 sets of mediums. Lesty's used 2 sets of softs and 1 mediums.
Quinn in then.
Right. This is going to be interesting to see where he comes out here. I think he might just come out behind them. But Zandvoort is a really short pit lane, remember.
Oh, Vitinho flying.
Fastest lap.
Yeah, benefit of DRS behind Huri.
Yeah, they have beaten Quinn out the pits quite comfortably, but Quinn with those fresh softs should theoretically get them quite quickly, I'd say.
Yeah, fresh softs, they're going to be very quick. Just got to get them up to the right temperature without the use of lower temperature tyre blankets used nowadays. You need to generate a bit more heat to get them up to a perfect working window. Around 100 degrees seems to be the way. 100, 110 degrees is perfect working window for tyres. And see what he can do. He's going to be very quick at the start, but how quickly will those softs die off once they hit that 25%? Will any of these drivers on those mediums be able to defend or catch back up to stop Quinn from winning this race? And will we see Lesty box to try and stop a too powerful undercut?
Yeah, and if Vitinho has shown he is quicker than Huri, if he wants to win this race, he's got to get past him without putting up much of a fight against him, because that will just allow Quinn to close right back up. He's already in DRS range. He needs to get this move done now, and he needs to do it without much of hassle from Huri.
Yeah, it looks like he might have got it done. Yeah, no hassle. And he's up to the net P1. But Quinn's there. He's in DRS. He set a purple final sector. Will be absolutely flying, but what can Vitinho do? Will he be able to drag this train along? As we've seen in real life, being in the third car in the train doesn't really help with overtaking, but I think the benefit of those tyres compared to the age that are on those mediums now, I think Quinn's going to have a great opportunity to get not one but both of them.
Wow.
Either at the end of this lap or next lap. Yellow flag sector 2.
We have Matt Shepherd in the wall. That can possibly benefit Matt Lester. because he is not too far from the pit entry, and of course, if everyone's slowed down, this could play into the hands of Matt
I'm going to have to
Lester.
pause you there, Jamie. He's already served his one safety car stop, so this ruins Matt Lester's chance of a victory here. This is going to be a 3, maybe 4-way scrap if you involve Waze as well, who hasn't stopped already.
these
I do
guys-
apologise. It's going to be a 3-way fight here.
Yeah, do these guys risk pitting for softs, though? Of course, Waste still has that safety car stop in hand, I think.
Yes, I believe so. Yes, so he doesn't.
Yeah, they're
so
going for
he
it.
can pit
Well-
now. Well, these guys are going to come in and serve a non-mandatory anyway. They're going to come in for fresh softs, which is interesting. Quinn staying out on 1 lap old softs. That's. Oh, he's stacked
Actually,
as well.
Quinn's pitted.
He's stacked
Yeah,
for Shep.
ooh.
Who's changing his wing as well? This is going to hurt Quinn really, really big.
Vitinho
lost a
should have
lot of
pitted
time
there.
there.
Unless he's already done that one pit stop and the safety car, then he should have pitted.
Who said that, sorry?
Ben, you can update me on that. Vitinho.
Yeah, so Vitinho is done. So Vitinho's opted to go to stay out on the mediums rather than going down into the softs with everybody else. I think that may have been a bad call by him. I don't think he expected everyone to come into the pits, but he stayed out. He's done. He's good. He's good to the end.
Matt Lester has pitted.
He has, but as I said before, he's already served his one safety car stop. So if he doesn't pit again
So he
at the end
needs
of this
to-
race,
he needs to pit again,
he's going to get disqualified from this one. Of course, we'll VAR it. We'll check.
Yeah.
But from my notes so far, he's already done one safety car stop. So this is his second, which is a non-mandatory, of course.
I have a query for you, Ben. Leroy mentioned in the chat, red flag stops and safety car stops. Are they the same or are they completely different?
Well, given the fact that the red flag was before the second stage, it would have meant that any stop would have been non-mandatory anyway. However, the fact that Waze changed his tyres, it under that circumstance, 'cause if you've not stopped, it counts. If you have stopped, then it's a non-mandatory. It'll all be VAR'd, it'll all be checked.
Oh, it's hurting my head.
Have a look. No, don't
it's
fret
fine.
too much. We'll VAR and we'll check it because a lot happened and a lot of crashes on the restarts as well. So we'll double check and make sure. But from my understanding, if you haven't served a safety car stop and you change your tyres under red flag, that is a mandatory stop.
I don't know whether Waze is serving a 5 second.
No, he's stuck, is he?
No, he served a 5 second, and then did he's changed to softs now because he was on mediums according to the graphic. He went on to really old mediums, so whether the game shafted him and put him on using mediums, but
I don't think he's benefited much from it anyway. He says he's actually crossed the pit exit line there. But if he was to benefit from it at all, then he probably should have pitted a lap earlier, really.
Right, Leslie has a 5 second speeding in the pit lane, I believe. He's going to be annoyed because he hasn't been given fresh softs. He's on 6 lap old softs. So they're a quality set at least. Or maybe they're their starting set. Maybe the red flag glitches and when you make a pit stop.
Well, he's on new softs, got a 5 second penalty, and he has to make another stop, so...
Is my game broken?
Sorry, old softs.
Okay.
Old softs.
I was wondering if my game was broken.
Yeah, so his race is ruined anyways. Theoretically, he should finish about last because he's going to lose all these places at the restart. The only person he should finish ahead of is Matt Shepherd, who's a lap down. So still get a top 10 at least.
Just before we get underway, I've got the rules up here now. The rules state that it's either one safety car or red flag stop. So therefore, if the only one the person that it concerns in this is because of the lap count that it was on is Waze, so he served as one under the red flag.
Cool.
Vitinho's already gone.
Back on the way here.
We forgot to talk about Star Wars again.
We did indeed.
Good film. Great film.
Good film. Yeah, great film.
Yeah,
Would
great film,
recommend.
great
If you've got
film.
2.5 hours to spare, always losing a position to Rico with an awesome dive bomb from him to get up to
Another happy
P8.
landing.
Side by side between the two of them, and Rico's been shoved onto the curb. All legal here in JACKOCAR, but he won't be too happy as he's now under threat from Thomas Nevitt behind
Matt Lester. Matt Lester, it might not be there on track, but he wants that lead away from take that lead away from Vitinho. He's going to send it. He's much quicker than him. And has Dustin completed his stops? Because if he has, then he's in a very good position. He's found himself in here.
I will just check his laps right now, but I believe he has. So he pitted first on lap 9, which is good, that's fine. And then he stopped lap 26, which wasn't under yellow flag, I believe.
Now,
Yeah, so Dustin's
I'll
actually
have to
found
check.
himself in a very good position.
Yeah, again,
That's if
VAR,
that's
we'll have to check.
legal.
It's been a messy
Yeah.
one. It's been a messy one, so we'll have to VAR quite a lot. But unless he does understand, he does need to pit again, which is good.
it is indeed.
Yeah.
But, this might be 3 wide into the first corner. That is Yuri up the inside of Fozzie Bear. Quinn right behind. But Yuri then
To be fair,
into P2.
Quinn has not really gained that much. He's lost a lot of time on that restart. I don't know if something's happened. Wace has actually invited himself, that's if his pit stop was legal, back into this year, because he's just past Evil Dragon, and now he's pretty much caught back up with Quinn.
Yeah, it's going to be a legally 4-way scrap. I think Waze's pit stop's not going to count if he knows the rules to make sure he doesn't get disqualified. He may still need to make another pit stop. 5 laps to go. Anyone can still win this. Vitinho is going to have to try and hold on.
He's going to have to defend out of his arse.
Yeah, this is going to be.
I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah,
Maybe those mediums are going to be falling off at that point as well. They're only 10 laps old. They're going to be struggling by 15.
Well, we know how powerful the DRS is at the banking, but it's not enabled just yet. That'll be next lap. So he might live to fight another day here for as long as he defends well. But Huri does have a lot of slipstream there to his advantage, and I think he's just going to let him go right through.
Inside, better grip. Will Fozzie Bear follow him through? This is crucial. If Fozzie Bear wants to win this race, he's going to have to get in front of Vitinho as quickly as possible, because he's got Quinn right behind him. We don't want Quinn to win. Nothing against Quinn. We just want a new race winner every week. It's lovely to see someone different on top of the podium with a ball that's been the current Formula 1 season, with maybe some nice fresh faces. For I think Fozzie Bear's first season in Kia as well, as far as I'm aware. His first full-time seat, I believe, as well.
Oh, Quinn thought about it. That's going to put him at a disadvantage maybe to Wace off the corner. But, of course, Quinn's going to have DRS. They're all going to have DRS. They're all in 1 second of each other. So not much advantage gained.
Fury needs to break that DRS if Fozzie Bear wants to get through. He has to close up a little bit more. But we can see if DRS will be powerful enough to get him ahead of Vitinho on those old mediums. If he gets through, will Fury do the same as he did last week? Oh, there's a lunge from Quinn up the inside, but we know the better line is the outside. He might get both of them, does Quinn. Boxed in for Fozzie Bear between Vitinho and Quinn. There's contact between the two of them. Vitinho is round Quinn is through. Fozzie Bear is going to have to try and take this away. I think Fury will probably take it on track to stop Quinn from winning it. But we'll see what happens.
Fozzie Bear has damage. He collected Vitinho as he was spinning round, so Wace is battling a damaged car.
Yeah. Front left end plate, I believe, from what I could see on board of Waze. Waze is not going to have this podium though. Fozzie Bear is going to have to try and hang on. He's got Evil Dragon right up behind him, who nearly runs into the back of him, coming in this middle sector. DRS for Evil Dragon. This could be an easy move.
Almost. Oh dear. Yeah, Thomas Nevitt almost swooped into a gap that wasn't there, and that's a block if I've ever seen one.
To the outside for Thomas then. You have to be patient. Fozzie Bear's got damage. There it is. Up the inside. Fozzie Bear's not going to fight it. He's going to be really frustrated. Is Fozzie Bear? Is it Dustin, his name?
Dustin,
I want to get it right.
Yeah, Dustin Rolko is his name.
Yeah. But from what it seems, Quinn can't seem to catch Fury at the moment. Thomas Nevitt out.
Nevitt is
late safety car.
2 laps to go.
No, it's too late.
Nah,
It's
not
going
gonna
to be green
happen.
to the end. Green to the end.
Into the end. No points for Thomas then. Was battling for a top 4 finish and is now going to get no points. That will promote Matt Shepherd up into the top 10. So showing that even though you're so far lost, you can still get points, even though you're already through. Maybe a fight for a playoff point, but I don't think it might be Matt Shepherd's day today.
This Belarusian, I don't know who he is, but he's just ran away with this. Maybe we should be talking about a possible cup drive for him, because it's not really fair on the rest of the field that he's managed to be this much quicker in the stint. 2.5 seconds clear, 3 laps to go after a safety car restart. Maybe we should start some cup talks.
There was a little bit of a Vitinho in the way, but they both managed to navigate.
Yeah, that's granted.
Quinn doesn't seem to have the pace. He's got Waze up his gearbox, and Waze thinks he'll have a chance for a P2 here. Not going to happen, Sunshine, unfortunately.
If Waze's stop was legal, then this has been a pretty impressive comeback from him, to be fair. He was dead last on that restart, and he's fighting for second place here in the penultimate lap of the race.
Checking the timings, I believe his second stop was non-mandatory if it was under safety car. So he's done one under red and one under safety car. Now, judging by the rules and judging by my understanding, that would be a second stop under a flag, which isn't allowed. We'll VAR it, we'll check it, we'll confer, but from my understanding, I believe this P3 will be taken away from him.
Cheers, Bernie. And Quinn is he's eating away into Huri's gap, but I think it's too little too late, really, isn't it?
Yeah, only one more lap to go. Not sponsored by Credit One Bank, as Jacko loves to say for Cup Series. Yeah, that's why I said not sponsored. No, that's why I said not sponsored. But here we go then. Huri to take us on to the final lap. The gap's 1.3. Quinn's managed to break DRS, but I think Waze is just about in it. No one seems to have any battery. Evil Dragon's going to come home in P4 if he can keep it within the white lines. 5, bit about where she started. Rico, P6. Fuzzy Bear with that damage is hanging on there, but P7 seems to be looking to be the highest he'll be able to finish. Vitinho stretching those mediums all the way. P8. Lesty, after an unfortunate late safety car, dropped his chances of taking victory here. P9 at the moment for him, and Matt Shepherd trucking away down, a lap down in P10, with the only penalty on the board that we can see.
Just
tell you what,
final
Quinn...
So go ahead, Jamie. Final laps of the race. Go ahead.
Yeah, Quinn, I thought he might be able to get himself into the DRS range there, but he just missed out. It's not going to be enough anyways, is it? Unless it's a big mistake now from Huri. It's not going to be enough for Quinn.
Yeah. If there was one more lap, maybe there'd have been an opportunity, because he is within that 1 second window. What does Fury do? Last week in Abu Dhabi, he gave the win to Matt Shepherd. This week, it doesn't look like he's going to give it. It's P1 for Fury. The young Belarusian takes his first win. Somehow Waze has glitched his way up to P1, being, what was that, 17 minutes and 44 seconds ahead of the rest of the field?
He's pretty quick.
That is
shitting out. Get him to cup.
Insanely quick, but Fury P1, Quinn P2, Waze, as of now, final spot on the podium for him. Evil Dragon may take that away from him. He's P4, Jess P5, Rico 6, Fuzzy Bear 7th, Vitinho in 8th.
Vitinho has crashed.
Oh dear. Lesty in 9th, and Matt Shepherd off as your final finisher.
Well, let's be honest, he was not going to pull over for bloody Quinn of all people, was he?
Yeah, he's a bit of a communist, as some say. Wait, what? This is
got Waze is winning the race. Yeah. It's not true.
I see why he's won the race by 17 minutes. He's just godlike. Bloody god, isn't he?
He's godlike.
Yeah, levitating on the podium.
He's watched Star Wars, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's got the Force.
Use the Force. Wait, we got a Star Wars reference in after the race had finished. It's really good.
Another happy landing.
Gareth will probably wishing that his F1 career ends up like what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson's character. Hand chopped off and out the window you go.
Well, are we sure there was any limbs lost in that race after the big pile-up? Are you sure that everyone's got their hands and legs intact?
Well, maybe, but that's a bit of a sensitive subject. But we are linking it to Star Wars. But then again, here we have finished the Dutch Grand Prix. We have had our 6th different winner in 6 races here in Kira. Yuri Yazalaga, the Belarusian, after 4 stops, a red flag, many safety cars. He's your race winner tonight. Quinn rounds out the podium and extends that championship lead at the top of the table, looking for that regular season championship and those bonus playoff points to take him into the playoffs. Evil Dragon, from what it seems, could be on the podium. That'll be a good
and the
boost
rest,
for him.
The rest are irrelevant.
The rest are irrelevant. We've got the top three. No one else matters. If you're not through to the playoffs from winning, then
Who cares?
who cares? This is Kia after all. Right then. To finalise the stream then, I apologise for not getting through all that movie. It was just so much action. Congratulations to all the drivers that didn't manage to make it to the end of the Grand Prix. Hopefully, next week you
much
can
action.
do a little bit better. Yeah, there was a lot of action for a track that can be quite boring.
So much action and so much limbs as well being strewn across the track.
Yeah. All right then.
And a flying winner.
Yeah, the flying winner. Yeah, those hacks. Get them out of here. I don't mean you, Liam. All right then. Next week. I believe it's next week. There's no breakers. It is next week.
No, I think we're all the way through, right? We're
all the way through now. All right, next week. One of my personal favourites to race around. Maybe not a personal favourite for a few, based on their human rights. It's a Saudi Arabia Grand Prix in Jeddah for round number 7 to get us towards the penultimate race.
Well, that's just going to be a Fugazi race.
Yeah, the penultimate race of the regular season with Ben's favourite, the King of Portimao here. But it'll be Portimao for the final race. I wonder if Gareth will decide to show up or be able to enjoy the King and Queen. That has to be done. I think the King and Queen must be in the box for Portimao.
Well,
Gareth, if you're still here, make sure you're here for not next week, but the week after.
Word is going round that he is still on his 5-day bender, so God knows when that's going to end. Yeah,
it has been known as well that since celebrating, he's been told to go touch grass. So instead of going outside physically, he's now mowing grass on Farming Simulator 22.
Hour off.
Any more final words from you boys as we round out the stream?
Star Wars is a very good movie. I recommend it. It's a 10 out of 10. Go watch it when you have the time.
I feel really stupid for watching that film.
And now not talking anything about it.
For it to not even be mentioned, yeah.
Yeah, nice 2.5 hours that you will not be getting back.
I will like to say, just as a little VAR final thing, there's been a little bit of conferring in the steward's room, and Waze is DSQ'd from the race. Unfortunately for him, his first stop was under a flag, and his second was under a flag, which means a non-mandatory stop on that second one. So sadly, his P3, I believe it was.
Yeah, it would have been P3.
Will be wiped out. He'll score 0 points tonight, sadly. Which puts Evil Dragon, Liam, of course, his first podium back, which is good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, the morale will be high in his camp. But that is it from all of us here in JACKOCAR Kia. Be sure to tune in on Thursday with Jacko for the finale of the regular season in Cup, the Austrian Grand Prix. There are still, I think, 3 places up for grabs. And yeah, it's going to be a good race to watch in Austria. Maybe a new winner to keep that record rolling. Jacko will definitely want it. And hopefully all of you will tune in, if you're not racing, to that stream. I've been your commentator, Peter Nine, and thank you both, Ben and Jamie, for being in the box with me. It's been a fantastic experience. Any more final words?
That's all. Thank you very much for having me once again.
Lovely. Thank you,
Bernie. I promise
Bernie.
the first day will be a lot cleaner.
You've said it now. That's the commentator curse. I'm DNFing, not making it to the playoffs. I'm going to cry. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.